Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Nap Bros podcast. I'm coming to you live, or not live, but I'm coming to you now because Andrew and I did a little recording of an episode where we had just kind of some just random discussions. One of the big topics was the Disinformation Governance Board, along with the issue with Dave Chappelle getting hit and just kind of like the attack on comedians that seems to be prevalent now. Especially after Will Smith's little fiasco at the Oscars. So come on in, enjoy the show, and let's get to it.
I didn't go to bed. I can't
Can't
focus too much.
Yeah.
It's just my leg hurts, my head hurts, my
face hurts.
It really does. Like, my face is killing me.
Me too.
I just tripped headlong in that one.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I mean, an interesting thing is if you heard about this Disinformation Governance Board?
Yes. With who is that with? Hold on.
It's like Nina something or another is the woman who's head.
Is that here? Is that here? That's in a different country, isn't it?
No. They're in the States. It's under the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security. Yeah, that's like where they're trying to basically censor anything on social media and trying to give the government control of being the censor of that. And it's really funny because like right now, and like a lot of people are comparing it to the Ministry of Truth, which is in the book 1984 by George Orwell. Have you ever read that 1984?
No.
Dude, it's an interesting book. So anyway, yeah, the Disinformation Governance Board has been compared to the Ministry of Truth, which in the world of 1984 is basically the government's propaganda machine. Like anything, and they would write anything that the government wants them to write. If it looks like Big Brother said something wrong, they go back and they edit that and fix it to where it looks like Big Brother spoke the truth and said what was right. You know, even though like today, like and basically they get rid of all evidence to the contrary. And it's interesting because like you've got the Disinformation Governance Board, but then you also have people like kind of this as an answer to what's going on in our society, which is people don't like being told that they're wrong or don't like or only believe what they want to believe, and there's no like open discourse. Like that's the biggest thing is like you're not allowed to have open discourse, and the concern is, and going back to Elon Musk buying Twitter, like it seems like the Disinformation Governance Board was created as an answer to Musk purchasing that.
I'm so confused. Like, so they trying to act like people are displaying the wrong things.
That's what disinformation is that idea of where basically
they have control over the media, basically.
So it's control over like social media more so than the media. Like they've already got a control over the media. Basically, if the media, like for the most part, it seems like if the media is saying anything against, I don't know, it seems like corporations. So like here in China, the media is controlled by the government. It seems like in the States, the media is controlled by corporations. So basically, if a corporation and advertisers, if they want the media to say a certain thing, then that's what they want. As where the thing about the internet, the thing about social media, it opens it up to where you can have a lot more freedom of speech, and you can actually have media members actually challenging governments, challenging corporations, and fighting against them and telling people to like examine and giving them information that they otherwise wouldn't get from mainstream media. But now with the Disinformation Governance Board, it's basically going in. They're saying that they're trying to prevent disinformation from COVID-19, disinformation about the vaccines, disinformation about
basically the people that were on fact checking.
Yeah, basically fake. Like that, but like making it a government thing. Okay, so this is what the quote unquote board is supposed to be going after. Basically, any disinformation coming from Russia and misleading messages about the U.S.-Mexico border. That's what the original, or that's what the main idea is to go after. In the Homeland Security Secretary is like it's part of the intention is to counter misinformation in Hispanic communities, especially.
That makes no sense.
I mean, it's just the thing is like
I
they
understand like they're trying to quell the influx of people, but
mm-hmm.
you sitting there trying to block people's information ain't gonna do that. Like that makes no sense. So we're gonna take away this freedom, but we can't build a wall.
Well, I think the biggest I think they're saying like they want it to be this way, um, but I mean, obviously, every government institution that gets created ends up expanding beyond what it should have been originally designed for. Like even the Department of Homeland Security, which came out after 9/11, like even that has now expanded into this social media, like going into social media and talking about whether or not this is incorrect information or that, and they're the ones deciding, which is never good when a government decides what is truthful or what is not, because then it's very easy either to buy that truth or to put the truth out there that you want for people to know. The thing is like just it's basically saying like the citizenry doesn't know how to figure stuff out. They don't know how to find out information of whether it's true or not. I understand that to an extent because I would say like some of the citizenry, like it's like they just want to believe whatever they want to believe, and so if somebody puts out there, it's like, oh, okay, like the U.S. Mexico border is there's a bunch of problems going on there, and so like if you're inclined to believe that, then you're inclined to believe that. But the thing is like I don't think a disinformation governance board needs to be created. I think what needs to be created is this education of not like in our public schools, but like an education for citizens to be able to go and figure out how do you learn how to find information to either agree or disagree with whatever is being put on social media, that kind of thing.
Like nobody really knows what the hell is going on. I mean, like everybody has to vet. Like I mean, it's so bad nowadays. Like you read something, well then let me go look over here too, and then let me go look over here. I mean, that's how it should be too. It shouldn't be I read one thing, it's like, oh, that's true. You know. But anyways, just a quick question: did you see the Dave Chappelle thing?
Yeah. I saw some reactions to it, and I saw what did I looked at so the two guys, Abba and Preach, they were like one of the first groups to or one of the first like
Comment.
YouTube channels to comment on it, and I was like, oh no, I was like, that's crazy. And so but yeah, I mean, I feel like it all stems from this whole thing of like, oh, okay, well, if Will Smith can do it, then I can do it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, apparently this guy had some rap out, or he's like an amateur rap artist or something, like a rapper or whatever. And the biggest thing is that he had like a diss track of Dave Chappelle, or he wrote some kind of rap about Dave Chappelle back in 2020, and so they're thinking that maybe that's the reason why. But I guess we'll get more information and we'll see what happens.
Follow up question: Did you
Okay.
see what? Did you see what Chris Rock came out and said?
Oh yeah, sure. Well, no, he didn't come out and say it. He said it right after it. Right?
Yeah,
Is that
that's
Will
for sure.
Smith?
Or what Dave Chappelle said, he's like, man, was that a trans person? I was like, oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
man. And they're back to like beating the guy's butt on the video. It looks like
Yeah.
you can see them in the background. It's like, man, like, what were you thinking?
I mean that dude does need to get beat. The problem is like now like it's gonna be like, I mean, it's just challenging for comedians now. I mean, like the fact that like they're out there and they're making jokes. Like I can understand if you want to like punch somebody who's like maybe like a Ben Shapiro. Not saying that it should happen, but like where this person is you know where they're not actually making jokes, but they're actually making mentions or comments that you may disagree with. As we're like with the jokes, you know, it's an intent to be funny, but or it's like you're they're being funny and you can't take the joke, and it's just I don't know, it's just stupid. I don't know. I mean, it's concerning that our society is kind of getting to that point where it's okay to hit somebody if they disagree with you, or okay to just completely ignore them if they disagree with you. If you disagree with their point of view, then you can just call them idiots or worse, or do worse things to them. Um, just getting to that point, like I don't know, and it's really difficult. I'll say this: it is really difficult. I was sitting there and I was like literally looking in the mirror today, and I was thinking about all the people who don't listen to others, and even in my mind, it's very difficult to not call them stupid or an idiot. Like
Right.
I understand that, but that's part of the reason why like reacting, like you got to be careful about reacting immediately. If you react immediately to what is said or done, and you don't actually like take the time to process it or take the time to try and just realize that they are human, that they are a human being that can, and part of the thing too is like they've probably got some messed up thoughts, or they're actually intelligent and have actually thought it through. Like one of those two things could be the case. Either A, they haven't thought about it at all. They just want to buy into whatever they want to buy into. And then what we've got to do is go back and try and figure that out, but still love and care for them and still treat them like a human to try and understand and relate to them. But then also on the other side is maybe they have actually thought about it and actually have a really intelligent point of view. And it could be enough for you to change your mind and stuff. But no one's willing to be open-minded about it. No one's willing to be forgiving. No one's willing to be patient or
Right.
peaceful. I mean that those are. I mean, it's nice though. I'm glad we're seeing people for who they really are. Like, and we don't necessarily like the people who are like really extreme colors of like tolerance. We can see have some tolerance issues. We can see people who are calling for peace and love and joy are not actually peaceful or joyful or loving. And so I like that, like being able to actually see people. I mean, when somebody's like, "Oh, I'm being bullied because I posted this article about Donald Trump or something like that," but then they go and they do the exact same thing. It's like, guys, like, do you not see the hypocrisy in this? It's nice. It's good that we're seeing the hypocrisy, and I actually love social media and the internet for that, being able to actually do that. But also that means that you and I have to be very careful not to be hypocritical. Like we've got to be very open and honest with our viewers, and we got to be open and honest with people who listen to us, and let them know that I killed a mosquito. Let them know like that, yeah, I mean we suck too. We don't do things well either. Like there's a lot of things that we get challenged with. I mean, one of those things is not wanting to just or wanting to just smack a person upside the head when they say something stupid. Like I get it, doesn't mean I'm going to do it. And so, and it's much better to talk about it. God, it's so much better to talk about it or to write about it than to actually go up and try and do it. Because then you end up being the dude who tried to go and hit Dave Chappelle or tackle Dave Chappelle, and you get your butt handed to you.
Yeah, mind you, like he did not tackle him at all. Like they probably like tripped over the cord or something.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening and or watching, however you are choosing to consume this content. If you are listening on your favorite podcast app, please make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you leave us a review. That way we can get out to the other peoples in the interwebs. If you are watching on YouTube, please click subscribe, click the bell. That way it can notify you when we post other videos. Leave us a comment in the comment section below. Also leave a like. We want you to be a part of this conversation. We would love to hear what you have to think. Popping up right now is going to be our reaction list of videos that we just react to. And also our last video that we did that was going to be about the battle plan in our sovereignty series. I'm Nick. He was Andrew, and as always, you have an open invitation to our conversation.